Hi guys, well here we are again. It's a beautiful, beautiful bright sunny day here in wonderful Vukovar. And this is a request video actually. A request message. And this comes from a couple of people that have A, read my book, and B, wanted to know some more information about imprisonment, incarceration, serving time. And this is an aspect of my life that was part of my life, that is part of my life, because I have been incarcerated. I have served time for committing offences. So it's, I suppose, in more ways than what's it like to be incarcerated, and how does this relate to the mind and the human being? Because those that are on this awakening journey potentially feel like they're prisoners in their own world. So, incarcerated, because you can't see a way forward. But I can relate to this from a way of being imprisoned. You've been sentenced for whatever crime, and you're going to do your time. And if you're a good boy and you comply with the rules and regulations, then we may let you out early. So what does one do when they're incarcerated? One has plenty of time to reflect. Why am I here? What am I doing here? Once we've overcome that situation and processed all of that and sought forgiveness and peace with oneself, the next phase is, what are we going to do when we get out? Who's around us? Who's going to be around us? Who's going to respect us? Where can we work? With a criminal record, particularly in the States, it's very hard to get a job, to be able to be accepted. And no matter whatever crime anybody's committed, they're labelled a convict or a former prison inmate. When you're in the system, you're just an inmate. You're a name and a number. In some countries, you're just a number. But the thought process going through when you're in prison is, firstly, am I safe here? Am I going to be protected here? Dealing with the day-to-day issues of different types of inmates in different situations for different types of things. And you never know the truth. You just hear all the rumours and the stories about what this person did, what that person did, and the same follows around about your own self. But you create your own little castle, your own little environment where you feel safe. And once you've gone through this realization or letting go or acceptance of the fact that you are there and you're in custody for a definitive amount of time, you get settling into the routine of doing your work, the routine of communicating, avoiding conflict wherever possible. Much the same in life. But you're in a regime that's controlled. You have limited freedoms, and you have a structure in which you can work, and a structure in which you have to satisfy others that everything is okay with you. So, as release comes closer and closer, many inmates have this calendar countdowns to release. Those that are eligible for parole are all good boys or good girls, and they do their bit. But their life is in other people's hands. So the acceptance is that your definitive sentence is XYZ. You're due to be released on XYZ date. If you get out earlier is a bonus. Then you explore what rights that you have to whilst you're an inmate. And you explore all those avenues. And then you get to the phase of preparing for release. This is when all the support, alleged support, comes in from external agencies about what you're going to do, where you're going to live, how you're going to integrate into society, and all of this. Integration into society. We're integrated in society. Is this reintegration? Are we reformed? Have we paid our price? And anybody that's been to prison has paid their price. Socially, morally, personally, and in many other ways they've paid the price. So this is the line in the sand. And I know that my own personal experience, particularly when I left New Zealand in 2000, I had one bag with me, no money, and I was sent to a city that I didn't want to go to, which was London. I had no life or no contact or any relatives or anything, that anybody that I could reach out to for help. So what was I going to do? Nobody gave a fuck where I was going or what I was doing. I was leaving the country. So I was of no responsibility to anybody except to myself. So I managed to connect with a few charities, and I made my way I got myself to London, and I managed to sort out where I was going to stay through my own pieces of paper that I had with me and a little bit of smart brains thinking. And that's where I started to work. So within 2 days of being released, I was working, earning a salary, and then focused on bringing my family that was still 13,000 miles away to where I was living. Because having spent nearly 2 years in custody, you really want to spend time with your family. But it was only me that was able to overcome all of these objections, overcome all of these boundaries, overcome all of these issues, overcome everything just to be with my family. And that's the ultimate price for anyone to pay. When we go into our mind and we go into the ways we're thinking, we're often bombarded with, excuse me, I'm going to put my glasses on, what to do, how to do it, why to do it, and when to do it. So you're locking yourself in a prison cell. And that prison cell is your own world. And how you get out of that prison cell is the work that you do for yourself, by yourself, and with others that will help you and guide you to where you need to go. So I'm going to sit down now. And this is the way it is. This is a fact. This is truth. So as you're going through this awakening process, you're breaking the barriers, you're breaking the fences, you're breaking out of that prison cell that you've created. And you become the master of your own world, you become the master of your own destiny. And yes, it's hard. Exactly the same as it's hard being imprisoned. It's a similar set of circumstances. One is forced through actions, the other is created. So when you're going through this awakening process and really wondering where you are and what you're doing, visualize yourself in a prison cell. If you can't overcome issues, visualize yourself in a prison cell and decide, what am I going to do to escape this? What am I going to do to get out of this situation? What can I do to improve my own personal situation whilst I'm in this situation? And that is what a prisoner does. That's what a convict does. He adjusts to a situation, he adapts, he starts to think differently, he starts to act differently, and it is a game of survival. Much the same as the human species is a game of survival. So when you're released, you're building a new life. You're building a life based upon new principles. Much the same as waking up and the whole awakening process. So whether you've been in prison or not, in reality, you are escaping a prison cell. You've done your time and you've done your sentence. You're not on parole any longer. You're not on probation any longer. You're free. And you're free to create your own destiny with what tools, wisdom and knowledge you have from here, knowing all of the things that you've done in your life. But obviously the first thing is to work. How are you going to work? What do you hide? I'm the prison inmate. I've just been released from prison. I need a job. How many people are going to employ you? This is all fear-based mentality, isn't it? So what I did was I told the truth. I've just come back from New Zealand. I've been released from prison. I'm here to start a new life. I'm coming back home. This is where my home is. I'm bringing my wife and children here. Can you help me with a job? And the answer was yes. And the answer was yes because I told the truth. So what does this tell you about when you're waking up? You're telling the truth to yourself. What you already know inside your heart is to be true. And you're in a battle with it. You're arguing with the judge and jury, which is also you. When you break out of that cell, when you're released, you are building this new life that you want to create or would like to create with everything that's around you that you deserve. Sorry, my glasses need to go back on. That you deserve and desire to have in your life. This is waking up. So whatever struggles you're going through, if it makes it easier, put yourself in that prison cell, in reality. Put yourself into solitude and figure out who you are, what you are, and your truth. And then you begin to dig your way out of the prison cell, or you just open the door yourself and walk through that door in freedom. Not looking over your shoulder, wondering whether somebody's coming to pick you up again. Going forward with an open mind, with an open heart and an open soul, and open to receiving new information to help you on your new life. And many of us now are building this new life for ourselves, in our own power and with our own abilities, and with this tremendous amount of knowledge and a tremendous amount of support from other soul brothers and soul sisters around the world, helping us, guiding us. So this is the waking up process. You're in a prison cell, you're trapped, you have a definitive sense it's time to serve, which can be until the end of your life, or you can be eligible for parole, and you can release yourself early by doing the work and by going through those barriers, those conscious barriers of getting to the true you. I have no fear about what I've said to you. I have no fear about what I've shared with you, because it's part of me. It's part of my path. It's part of my life. But I know the future is going to be great because I'm creating it. If you need any help or guidance, just let me know. I offer these free 1-hour guidance sessions. Just drop me an email or make an appointment on my website and I'll be happy to guide you further. In the meantime, have a great day. Take care. Until the next time.